Apple just gave us two of the most confusingly good products at the exact same time. On one hand, we have the new MacBook Neo, which is the $600 laptop that's literally the most fun I've had with a Mac in years. And on the other, we have the new iPad Air M4. Now, I spent the last week imagining both as my only computer to see if the iPad is finally ready to kill the budget laptop, or if the Neo is just too much of a value to ignore. We're breaking down the power, the screens, and the keyboard to see which one you should actually buy in 2026. Design-wise, these are both obviously peak Apple. They look fantastic. The Neo is actually Apple's first completely new laptop line since 2008 when we got the Air, and it feels like it. It's 2.7 pounds, so it weighs the same as a MacBook Air, but it has a smaller footprint, thus making it a little bit more dense, so it feels nice and solid in the hand when you're handling it. And the iPad Air M4 sticks to the solid industrial design we've loved for years. Now, it is getting a little dated in my opinion, especially with the bezels. And here we have the 11-inch blue model, and I have a whole video on whether you should get an 11-inch iPad or a 13-inch iPad, so make sure to check that down below in the description if you're curious. And a nice feature that we do get on this iPad Air is a landscape FaceTime camera, so if you're a student who does a lot of Zoom calls and stuff, you're finally looking at people when you're using this as a laptop and not off into space. Let's talk about the screens on these because it's the first thing you're going to see, and they both are 60 Hz, and people do like to complain about the lack of ProMotion on the Air, and honestly at this point there's no reason it should not be 120 Hz. With that said, the 11-inch panel does look great. I think the screen overall looks a little bit better than the Neo. It's also a little bit less reflective, and honestly if you haven't used a 120 Hz device, then it won't matter to you. You won't be able to tell a difference. It really only is a difference if you already have a 120 Hz device and then you're using this and switching between the two. Overall, it's still a liquid retina display that's really bright, sharp, and looks absolutely gorgeous. And again, the Neo display is just as impressive, especially for the price, given that it's cheaper than the iPad. It's surprisingly bright, and I found myself keeping it at around 70% brightness even in my studio. But the iPad has one trick that the Neo doesn't, and that of course is the touchscreen. You can actually grab this and touch everything you want. And there's just such a freedom of being able to rip the screen away and just hold your whole computer. But to make that work, you actually need a keyboard. So if you're choosing the iPad Air for work, the accessory you pick is just as important as the tablet itself. And I've been using both of these as my writing machines over the past week, and the only reason the iPad can even compete with the MacBook is because of the keyboard experience. This brings us to today's sponsor, ESR, where I've been testing their Shift keyboard case for the M4 Air, and it just changes how you use a tablet. What really sets the Shift apart from typical laptop style cases is that it's completely modular. So the keyboard is Bluetooth and magnetic, so you can snap it off at any time and use it across your desk or on the lap on the plane or anything like that, while still keeping the iPad propped up on a stand. And speaking of propping it up, the kickstand is built into the case and not the keyboard. This means you can flip the iPad into portrait mode, for example, or writing scripts or coding. Build-wise, it's a very solid case. It provides 360-degree protection for the edges, which is something the official Apple cases don't do. Plus, it also has a dedicated elastic pouch on the back for the Apple Pencil, so if you're like me and you toss it in a bag, it won't come off the side where the magnet is, and it'll just hold it in place. It of course also does have the magnet on the side for when you want to place it there. The typing experience is simple with great tactile feedback and a full row of function shortcuts, and the trackpad is actually huge. It's as big as the one on the Neo and supports all iPadOS 26 gestures. It's also clickable anywhere, and it just overall makes the iPad feel more like a MacBook. And battery-wise, you're looking like at 130 days on a single charge if you're not using the backlight, and 11 hours if you crank it to max. The best part of this is the price, because the Shift actually retails for a fraction of what you pay for the Magic Keyboard. So if you want to turn your iPad Air into a professional setup without the bulk, make sure to check out the ESR Shift keyboard case down below in the description, and thanks to ESR for sponsoring this video. Overall performance on both of these, I would say that the iPad is going to be this slightly more powerful device. I mean, of course, it's a newer chip, and it's a chip that's actually built to be a laptop versus the A18 Pro on the Neo, which is a phone chip. Now, since it is using a phone chip and it has really good cooling, it of course is more powerful than the iPhone that had it. But both of these overall are going to be able to edit 4K videos in Final Cut or CapCut or anything like that. You're not going to have an issue. If you're just a hobbyist and you like to edit from time to time videos or photos, both of these devices are going to do the job. Now, the thing is that the iPad is going to have more RAM. It's going to have the ability to multitask a little bit better overall, but iPadOS is such a drag that it kind of negates the fact that it has more RAM than the Neo. Of course, the iPad is also more expensive than the Neo. The Neo comes in at $599, $499 if you're a student, while the iPad Air comes in at $649. Now, it is cool that for the iPad Air, you can choose between an 11-inch model and a 13-inch model. The only thing that sucks is I think that the colors are horrible in comparison to the Neo. They're very dull and boring, and I wish they would have been fun. I'm guessing we'll get an iPad Neo at some point. Who knows? You can also spec up your iPad Air up to 1 terabyte, which you cannot do with the Neo. That maxes out at 512 gigabytes. And to the iPad Air, you can also add cellular if you want to work on the go. Here's my honest take. The MacBook Neo is just a better laptop. If what you want is something to type on, something to multitask on, to use as a laptop, well then of course the laptop is going to be better, right? And the fact that it's $499 if you're a student or teacher or anything like that is just absolutely insane value. And I also recommend that you spend the extra $100, upgrade to the 512 gigabytes and get the Touch ID sensor. The laptop will just be faster for longer since you're not going to be like maxing out the memory on there anytime soon, and it'll be worth it. And the Touch ID is really nice to have for passwords and all that. Overall though, if we're just kind of being critical, the iPad Air M4 is the quote-unquote better device just because it has more features and it's not that much more expensive, and overall more capabilities. You know, you do get the camera on the back so you can scan documents, you can record lectures, stuff like that, which makes it a lot more versatile. If you do want to record a video and you don't have your phone, you can use the iPad if you need to. If you're tight on space, holding the iPad just in the air is nice to do, and that's not something you really can do with the MacBook Neo very easily. And of course, you have the ability to take notes with a pencil. And so if you're a designer or anything like that, and you want to edit photos by actually retouching them and kind of drawing on them, that's obviously going to be the biggest value here with the iPad. Gaming is also going to be much better with the iPad. It's not even really a choice here. There's going to be a lot more games in the App Store than we have in the Mac App Store for compatibility. And a lot of games do work really well with the touchscreen, so you don't even have to carry a controller or anything around if you don't want to. So for a gaming device, the iPad is better. For design, the iPad is better. For pure horsepower, the iPad's probably also better. But for feel, ergonomics, and also just affordability, the Neo is going to be better because again, you don't have to buy any extra accessories or anything. That's just the laptop and that's it. So it really depends. You know, if you want one device that's going to do absolutely everything, then get the iPad. But if you just want a laptop that's going to do the function of a computer, then the Neo is fantastic. Now here for me, if I was to personally pick one up and I had neither of them, I would go for the MacBook Neo. One, I love the colors. I think they make it such a fun device to actually use and grab. When you just like the look of something, it makes it much more easy to kind of want to use it, if that makes sense. Second of all, I prefer the actual full desktop applications and also full desktop versions of websites and everything, because a lot of times on the iPad we'll get the mobile version of a website, which I absolutely hate. And on top of that, I think scaling and all that and multitasking is just so much better on the Neo. So even though the Neo is a little bit less powerful overall, I'm going to end up doing more work quicker because macOS is just so much better at allowing me to do the things that I have to do. iPadOS is still such a problem with getting everything to move around. Even with the new Windows features and everything, it actually gets a little bit too cramped for an 11-inch iPad, so that would be easier on a 13-inch iPad. But then I would have to carry a 13-inch iPad plus like the whole keyboard and everything. It just becomes a lot where it just gets easier now just to carry something like the MacBook Neo. Like I want those full versions of Final Cut and Photoshop, and we don't have that on the iPad. They're kind of scraped down versions of the originals. They're getting better over time, and if you're not doing anything too complex, those are going to do the job. But if you want to get into complex projects where things are a lot harder to edit, it's really tough to do it on an iPad. I think overall, for me, I love the iPad, but it's still really best as a second device that you have around and not as a main device. Could I use it as a main device? Yes, for sure. Would I use an iPad Air as a main device? Definitely not. I would definitely go for an iPad Pro if that was my main device. So that's basically it for this video. That's the iPad Air versus the Neo. Which one would you get? Let me know down below in the comments. Definitely, I think Apple just knocked it out of the park with the MacBook Neo, and I'm excited to see what they release the rest of the year, kind of taking this fun approach to products. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.